you're in the Midwest, you will be driving up and down hills. And if you don't understand how to stop and slow down, you're going to burn your brakes out. So a lot of beginners just slam brakes and then you're going to end up skidding down a hill and losing control. So you got to be really gentle on your brakes. You can't just slam them, they'll lock up. So it's really important. You don't want to, it says you should never shift to neutral because your motor and transmission are connected. Your transmission can help your car downshift and take some of the wear and tear off of the brakes. Next, rumble strips that are placed on the side of roadways are to alert the drivers that they are driving off the traveled portion of the road. Let's pretend you fall asleep when driving. You're going to hear that da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. That's going to wake you up. That's going to shock you and scare you because your age group falls to sleep. And if you fall asleep, getting up in the morning or getting tired, you're going to end up going off the road and fall into a ditch. So those rumble strips are there to help you. Next, on a rural roadway, utility lines, mailboxes, and reflectors give clues of driveways. Okay, let me go ahead and do a share out. Give me 1 second, please. When you're driving in the country, there's little to no light. And a lot of you will go into the country area and you're going to be driving and it's going to be very overwhelming because there's not going to be any light. And the moonlight will help you. You're going to see big shadows. You're in the country. You're going to hear animals. You're going to hear a lot of different things. But it's going to be very overwhelming for you the first time when you go there. So you want to really just mentally prepare for driving in that type of condition. I'm just going to go ahead and do a share once I find that email. And I'm just trying to get you prepared. And this is just the first step to your success when you are getting out there driving. And you're only going to be as good as you want to be. And it takes your parents, it takes the community, a good driving instructor. And then when you get segment 2, those of you who make it to segment 2, we're going to discuss defensive driving, safe driving practices. And that's where you're really going to learn a lot more and really be prepared for opportunities that await you, opportunities to drive out of the state, opportunities to drive to Cedar Point. I'm going to go ahead and share screens now. All right. Okay, so again, I'm going to go over number 3. On rural roadways, utility lines, boxes, reflectors give clues of driveways. Next, motorcycles. They are difficult to see, so you want to be aware. You want to check your blind spot. You have to get used to looking over your shoulder. And a lot of you, because you're beginning drivers, you're going to look over the wrong shoulder. You might panic. So your parents need to be getting you out every time you can, in the morning, afternoon, evening, going in a snowstorm, going in a rainstorm, if it's safe, to get you prepared. If your parents truly care, they'll get you out. If they don't care, oh, it's too bad right now, but sooner or later, you're going to have to drive in snow. It's raining. Oh, it's raining. Sooner or later, you're going to have to drive in rain. Oh, it's too crowded. Sooner or later, you're going to have to drive in heavy, heavy weather. That's how you really learn how to drive. And hopefully your parents will get you out there. Next, if the acceleration lane is short, you need to have a longer gap to enter the expressway. You do this by either accelerating and looking for a gap ahead of traffic or going behind traffic. Many of my students this weekend, you'll be going in an expressway. So we want to talk about best practices, getting on the road, getting your speed up, and then you'll be able to merge out very easily. And I make sure that you know what to do. A construction zone is indicated by an orange sign. Signs are known by their shape or color. So you as drivers, you're going to have information overload. And it's like going to a heavy downtown area, downtown Detroit, Michigan, downtown Houston, Texas, downtown Los Angeles, California. You're going to have a lot of road signs, construction signs, historical markers, and your brain will just melt. And that happens to beginning drivers a lot. I try not to get you to that level, but it's going to happen when you first take your long interstate highway drive. Number 7, you may turn right from a lane than the far right lane when there is a sign or marking permitting the turn. So you want to start in the correct lane. If you're in the nearest lane to the right, turn in the nearest lane to the right. If you're in a 3 left turn lane and you're in the middle lane, stay in that middle lane. A lot of beginners go in the wrong lane. They cut off cars. Your parents get nervous. They don't want to drive with you. Your driving instructor gets frustrated. Your friends laugh at you in the back. So all those things going on, plus your little brother, sister, they're going to make fun of you too. I thought you could drive. And then you're like, Mom, Dad, can you please stop my sister or my brother from saying this? Because you're really scaring people. And we don't want to scare you. We want to teach you and get you going. Go ahead, question.
I was just asking if I could use the bathroom.
Go ahead, use the bathroom. You're good.
Thank you.
You're all good. So it's really important that you do that and you're prepared. Next, which of the following distraction is most likely to cause a young driver to crash? Other drivers. The more people you have in the car, we're all social. You're going to have your friends in the car. You want to show them you can drive, but really your friends are going to distract you. They're going to tease you. Oh, you're going too fast. You're scaring me. Oh, you're going too slow. You're driving like an old person. Oh, you just ran a light. I don't want to drive with you. Oh, you got mad and now this guy's chasing you in this white creepy van. So your friends will be very honest with you. Some of you can handle that. Some of you can't. But in the car, your focus needs to be on driving. It's really important that you understand this. Talking about driving education, we talk about saving people's lives. That's why you're watching this. Next, if your vehicle starts to lose traction on the roadway, you should slow down gradually. You never want to hit the brakes. If you hit the brakes too hard, you're going to lose control. You're going to end up going into a ditch, crossing the center line. So you really have to think ahead. And for some of you, it's going to take that near miss, that near almost crash, that near miss going off the road, that near miss running a light and almost getting hit. Unfortunately, it happens to all of us. It happened to me. It's going to happen to you because you don't have a lot of experience to go on. You're going to make mistakes. And if you make too big of mistakes, you end up crashing. And if you make a big mistake, you end up dying. So we don't want you to die, but we want you to learn. Making mistakes is normal. In order to avoid conflicts when traffic is heavy in the right lane, you should use the center lane. If you have a chance to get in the center lane, okay, you need to drive. You need to be smooth. You need to look ahead. On real roadways, conditions can change abruptly. The road could be soft. It could be very hard. You could have craters in the road. So rural roads are the most dangerous. And you as a beginning driver, man, I can go really fast. I can do what I need to do. And all of a sudden, you understand that, man, I almost went off the road. So you will learn it because all of us have friends who live in rural areas, okay? Next, what should you do at an intersection with a flashing yellow light? You want to slow down and be prepared to yield. A lot of you won't know what to do because you get nervous, you panic, you almost stop in the middle of the road, and you could end up getting rear-ended. Or you drive too slow, or you get really nervous, and your mom is watching you, and she's like, what's wrong with you? I'm just nervous. Or your dad is like, why are you driving like this? I'm just nervous. And then your mom will be in the front, she'll tell you something, your dad will tell you something, and then you're going to be confused. So whoever's in the front is the co-pilot. I'm giving you real advice, and I know some of your parents are listening. I want them to listen. Some of them have had another child go before you. They have their best practices, but every parent is different. Next, at a roundabout, you will see a yield sign, okay? So you want to slow down. There are a lot of questions on the internet about roundabouts. At our jurisdiction, if you're making a right, you want to go up, turn on your right turn signal, and go to the right. If you're going straight through, you don't need a turn signal. You have to make sure you're letting people know. Happy Friday, E. How you doing? So it's really important that you communicate, and roundabouts are safer than traditional intersections. Next, the vehicle safety technology called ESP stands for Electronic Stability Programs. It keeps your car from spinning out and losing control. Here in our area, because we're an automotive leader, We have technology that a lot of states don't have. A lot of countries try to copy us because our technology is so great. A lot of you don't understand this. It's very competitive in the automotive industry. This is why we have experimental cars that are 2025s. 2026 is driving around getting data. And it's really exciting to see those manufactured cars that will be destroyed. They actually don't have a VIN number. You're going to see a 2028 Mustang, a 2028 Charger or Challenger. You don't really look for it because you don't know what to look for, but it's going to have that M in the middle of the license plate. That's a manufacturer's license plate. It's an experimental vehicle. So they end up getting destroyed in the end. According to our law, driving while intoxicated means in every state is different. You are over a blood alcohol of 0.08. Across the country, it's a little lower than 0.08. They're trying to lower it down, but you need to know this. Not saying you'll drink, you shouldn't drink, but because you're minors, you should not have any alcohol at all. Number 16, broken white lines. What did they indicate? They separate traffic moving in the same direction. I will ask you this. You need to know this. Next, a traffic control officer signals. So you need to follow directions. If they tell you to go right, you go right. They tell you to stop and wait, you stop and wait. How can you keep the inside of your vehicle's windows clear after you have cleared them of humidity and rainy conditions? You will either use your defroster or air conditioning, because that's going to happen really fast. You're going to panic. Your windows are going to fog up. You either turn on your heater up to high, blow cold. The heater is going to give you warm air. The air conditioning is going to give you cold air. Most of you know that, but also you can use it to clean your windows. Next, what does searching for hazards and traffic depend mostly on? It is moving your eyes quickly from left to right, left to right. Number 20, when approaching an expressway entrance on the ramp to the right, you can make it easier for vehicles to enter by moving to the lane to your left if possible. If you can't, you're going to have to speed up to make room, or you slow down. We all work together. I'm just going to 20. I need you to tap in a couple things you learned. Everyone tap in a couple things they learned. Please do that right now. Happy Friday. Tap in a couple things you learned. We're talking about safe driving practices, getting you guys ready to get out onto the road. Safety is no accident, and it's really important that you understand that. So I need you to put in questions you have right now or something you learned. All of you need to put in a question too, right? We got less than an hour. Put in a question you have. Where should I be at this part of the driver's education process? It really depends. Everyone's a little bit different. Some people learn really fast. Some people learn really slow. Some of your parents won't let you drive the way you want to because maybe you drive a little too fast. Some of your parents will only just keep you in the neighborhood, and you really don't get deep driving. Deep driving is you going from school to downtown, going from your school to maybe a cousin or an auntie or uncle who lives on the opposite side of the city or the county. Deep driving can be you going through some roundabouts, some curves, one-way roads. So when you're out driving, I try to get you ready for various situations, and good instructors do that. They're not just driving you in a straight line. So a lot of you will drive with me. You're going to drive in downtown areas. You're going to be merging on the expressway. You're going to learn how to go on long ramps, short ramps, roundabouts. We're going to do a lot of deep parking where you're going into a school or a shopping mall area. You guys still go to malls. You're going to go into a shopping mall area I'm going to tell you park in 5 spots: stall parking, angle parking, parallel parking. It really depends on the instructor and how well you feel comfortable. Tomorrow we're going to have a driver driving for the first time. They're driving first because I already know what my other drivers can do. We're going to support the driver. We're going to help them. They're going to start in the school parking lot, pulling in, going up and down the aisles. Then they're going to go into the neighborhoods, looking left, looking right. There's going to be a little bit more peer pressure because we're going to have 3 students in the car. That always happens, but we're all going to support. And this is how we grow and learn. So I asked you to put some questions in, and I'm looking for those questions right now. So pedestrians are always the most vulnerable, but also bicyclists. They should be riding with the flow of the traffic. Pedestrians should be walking against the flow of the traffic. But you see people not following this, and then they get ran over. If you're making a right turn, you should look to the right first. It's called the right hook. What does this mean? If you don't look to the right and just turn, you're going to hit a pedestrian. You're going to hit a bicyclist. So you have to see the full traffic scene. If you're making a left turn, it's called the left cross. You don't look all the way to the left. A bicyclist is coming from left to right or right to left. You hit them. Bicyclists have a responsibility too. They should have a reflector on the back of the bike. They should have blinking lights. They should wear a helmet. It's really important that all of you understand this. Many of you still ride bikes, but the biggest thing is the scooters, okay? And a lot of younger people are riding those e-scooters, and they're very, very fast. How much space do you need? I would give them at least 2 car lanes for motorcyclists. You always want to make sure you keep space. A lot of beginners just ride too close to cars. I need some more questions. I get real or fake police. They're fake police all the time. They're guys and ladies who never made it to the police. Then they make it through the police process. Anyone can buy a badge and a uniform. Real police will actually have a badge. They'll actually be in a marked car. If you're not sure, you can say, hey, I don't believe that you're real. I want to go to the police station. Okay? Don't let a fake police officer pull you over. They are out here. And if you feel uncomfortable and you feel they're not real, no one's really going to get mad at you. You're not going to get a bigger ticket. If you are not sure they're not real, ask for their badge number. Okay? They always have a badge. Anyone can get a fake badge. Or say, hey, I want to go to this police station. Or what are you pulling me over for? So that was easy. Let's get some more questions in here, please. You get in what you put into the class. Officers have badges. They have identification. Let's move past the fake police. No, a fake police officer cannot give you a ticket because they're fake, and you're going to have a fake ticket. And then if you have a fake ticket, you're going to take it to the police department. So no, a fake officer will not give you a fake ticket. Anyone can steal most of them, they have digital tickets. They will scan your driver's license, and then it will be printed out in a machine. So now, Ethan, you're really learning. They're going to take your permit or license and scan it into a machine, and they'll type in the charge, and you'll get a digital ticket and actually a paper printout. So that kind of takes care of the fake ticket. There's no more books where let me see your license, and they write down everything and sign it. Agencies are much more efficient today than you've been watching some police movies or bad boys. What you gonna do? So a fake officer will pull you over and give you a fake ticket. No, but that's why you got to be educated. And if that's where you guys are and you're worried about fake officers, I need to do some research. Come on, let's get some more questions in. I need everyone to get some questions in. We talked about fake officers. Ethan had a question. Go to restroom. Come on. I need some more questions. Everyone put in a question. Ava put in a question. Ashton put in a question. Carly put in a question.
I have one in.
Done. Let me see. Hold on. Let me slow down. Let me make this bigger. Dun, 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 dun. Hold on. Dun, dun, dun. Ryan, what's your question? Go ahead and ask. Okay, I see some questions now. Here we go. What's equivalent? It depends on the drink. About one drink has 0.08. Depends on, is it a professional mixing these drinks at a bar, but you guys are under, 16, 17, you should not be getting into a bar. And if you manage to get in and they serve you, the bar will be sued and they'll lose their alcohol license. So that's the punishment. So it's probably about one drink, depends on how much alcohol is in the drink. You want to put your hands at, it could be 7 and 5. It could be 10 and 2. It could be 9 and 3. Based on the Highway Safety Transportation System, it really depends on how tall you are. I'm 6'4". I weigh 260. So my hand position is going to be different. Some of you are 5'5", 5'4", 5 feet. So your hand position is going to be different. You're going to be closer to the steering wheel. If you're 12 inches less away, the airbag is going to kiss your teeth and you're going to get your teeth knocked out. So you want to have your hands at possibly a 7 and 5. That's a little lower position. You might have them at 10 and 2. It really depends on what you're taught, what you feel comfortable with by your instructor, what your parents see you do. And that's a very personal decision. Many parents and kids and people on the internet love to argue about hand placement. 7 and 5, 10 and 2, 9 and 3. It really depends on what is comfortable for you. How can I make sure I'm prepared for the test? You are right now, because I'm thorough. I do quizzes, I do Kahoots, I go deep learning, deep brain. I'm built for this. That's how you can make sure you're prepared. I always make sure. And if you're not putting in your work, your parents are going to say, let me see your study guides. Let me see your papers. If you're not doing your work on the backside, doing these questions, you're going to fail the test. I can tell within 12 minutes. And then if you fail the second test, you're going to have to repeat a week of class. So I never worry because I'm thorough. Remember, I'm an educator. I always am thorough. We're always sharing this information. And this is how we get better. So hold on one second here. And us going deep on these questions, there's no excuse for you not to pass. But it's on you. I'm not taking the test. You guys are. And if you have a problem reading, you can have your parent come in. Okay? I am not required to read the test to you. I am required to check the test, and I check it right in front of you. So you need to get a minimum of 56%. That means you missed over 27 questions. There are 80 questions on the test. You will have 2 hours. So, all right. I thought the questions are good. Ryan, I need you to take over and do the next 20.
All right. We're at 21.
Yes,